Welcome, everybody. I didn't realize we were jumping into it immediately, but we'll roll with it. Welcome to the Magic Spider-Man art panel, where we got a treat for you, a supposedly unscripted conversation between four people who were primarily involved in developing the art for this awesome set. I'm Matt Cavotta. I'm the principal art director for Universes Beyond, and one of the lead art directors on the Spider-Man set.
I'm Mike Thomas. I was an art director on Spider-Man, and I'm the lead art director on the follow-up Marvel Superheroes set that was announced the other day. And I am I'm a long time comics fan. My career actually started many years ago as an art director at Marvel.
I'm Tom Jenkot. I'm a director of Booster Fun. I lead up all of the collectibility components for Booster Fun and for Spider-Man. It's awesome to work on all of this with these guys, except for
Not so awesome to work with. Very mean to people.
And I am Amanda Barker. I am on the Marvel side of things. I am a senior product designer, and I basically help amazing partners like Wizards of the Coast make the most Spider-Man thing they can make. It's been an amazing honor to see the artwork that the artists have been able to contribute to this. It's amazing.
Perfect segue, unplanned. So I want to, can we get the graphic on screen? Yeah, I want people to regard what's up on the screen here for just a second. Like there we are, Magic the Gathering next door to Marvel, and when we first heard that we were doing this partnership, we on the creative team felt like this is a big deal. We're going to have to empty the Magic the Gathering bag of tricks to try to do everything we can to match the mojo that Marvel brings. I mean, it's such a pop culture powerhouse, and that we wanted to do everything we can creatively to make this feel like a 50-50 partnership. And one of the awesome things that happened at the beginning of this partnership was we came to an arrangement where, through the grace of the wonderful people at Marvel, we had access to more Magic artists than we have on any other Universes Beyond project. And I think we all agree, I mean, if you're here, you probably are into Magic art, but that our artists, our world-class fantasy painters, are some of the best in the world. Definitely a badge of honor, and something that we feel like we need to do everything we can with this resource to celebrate this momentous partnership. So I want to start out with a question, mainly for you, Mike, but Tom, you can jump in as well. If you have access to all of the things, all of the artists, like what sort of things were you thinking about to help you choose which artists you wanted to bring in for this project?
Well, sure. I mean, there's a ton of incredibly talented Wizards artists. But like I said, my background was Marvel, so I had an idea in my head of where I wanted my cards to go. I had, for all of these Marvel cards, I don't know how many of you remember, like they were like this 1993 Marvel Masterpieces trading card set. Mm-hmm. And it's just like this amazing thing that we all just like worship for years. And I'm just like, let's do that. So let's get like as many different art styles as we can. Let's find like the best Magic painters who, and it wasn't too hard to find many who were, psyched to work on Marvel stuff. And just bring like these new flavors to these things and try to capture something new that's never been seen in Magic, and hasn't quite been seen with Marvel either.
Yeah, I was thrilled to unleash a lot of Magic artists onto the set. We weren't sure how excited they would be, but when we started reaching out, they were super excited. They wanted things. They were naming characters they wanted to work on, and in a lot of ways we could accommodate that and really let them sink their teeth in.
There's a vibe that we try to aim for on all Universes Beyond sets, and our work with Marvel has been no exception, and that is creating a for fans, by fans vibe. And many of us on the creative team, super fans of Marvel. And it turns out our artists, a lot of them were born from love of comic book art. And they took that journey and ended up working on Magic. So it's awesome to unleash all that passion. And this is just the first couple, the tip of the iceberg of images you guys are going to see. But you'll see that that passion has paid off. At least we believe that passion has definitely paid off. I want to draw attention to these two artists on the screen. Both Scott and Steve are artists who have like a long Magic the Gathering resume, especially Scott Fisher's been involved since like 1995 or something crazy. And it was awesome to be able to bring these folks in on this project to, like I said, offer some Magic mojo to the Magic and Marvel partnership.
Yeah, so that was something that Marvel has wanted from the beginning. Like when we were talking about this project, when we were talking about what Marvel as a Magic set would look like we very much didn't want this to necessarily be just another Marvel trading card game. We wanted it to be Magic the Gathering and Marvel truly holding hands, and such a huge mythos of what makes Magic great is the artwork, the artists, the legacies that are built into it are like another layer of the Magic life cycle. And so to be able to have Legends do their take on Marvel was really important, and it's really charming. I was able to see the Green Goblin piece in person at Scott's booth, and it's glowing.
If you haven't seen it, go down to Scott Fisher's booth and look at that oil painting. It looks great there. It looks awesome on the card. The oil painting is another level. It's so cool.
Yeah.
There are a number of ways in which Magic artists inspired us to unleash our full bag of tricks. And one of them is in art from Magic's history. These are two of my favorite cards from the set. Because full disclosure, while I am a casual Marvel fan, I'm a lifelong total Magic goober. And when these ideas were floated, I was all about it. Like the opportunity to celebrate nostalgia from both brands at once, total winner.
Yeah, when I saw the sketches for these, that, like I was mentioning earlier, like this was truly like hand-holding. Like when we were talking about depicting the Infinity Stones as like the Moxes, and even getting the original artist to do the same treatment, it blew my mind, and I was so stoked because I don't know how you can layer better than that, your chocolate and peanut butter to just make the best, like...
It is the best combo.
Yeah.
So FYI for the room, I was mentioning how for fans, by fans is a thing. I want to let you guys know that Amanda isn't only here because she is one of our Marvel partners. Amanda is also a Magic fan, so... For fans, by fans, working both ways. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Both teams are so intermixed. It's incredible. Like so many people, as soon as I started, talking to different people on the team, they're like, "Oh, you're working on Magic. Oh my gosh, can we talk? Like, I love Magic." Like, so I was able to find so many people in our teams that were secretly like Magic fans that I never would have known until we started this conversation. So the threads go deep both ways.
I don't know how many expansions it has been. I know we're over 40,000 unique cards we've made. Anyway, I don't think anyone would ever accuse us of being a one-trick pony. And even on single cards, we unleash the full bag of tricks. Here's 3 different versions of Soulstone. I think all of them have their own fascinating qualities. Tom, this was your baby. Do you want to talk about this a bit?
Yeah, so for collectability, we make different versions of the cards, and so we had to coordinate across teams to make sure that we were hitting those moments. And for the stones, like we had a perfect element of each of those. We had this early on possession of the stone. I forget the character's name.
The in-betweener.
The in-betweener holding the stone, right? Then we went into, well, you can see the things, the Thanos, and then we reserved that like cosmic setting for the headliner. And so this image up here, like, is beautiful, the headliner image, but like seeing that, there's so many cool print treatments on there. But it was important for us to work together. Amanda and team like helped us also like figure out like those spaces that these could live in and really be distinct.
Thomas, do you know if there is an example of a for reals soul stone somewhere here at the con?
I haven't seen it. I've seen the Thanos one, but I haven't seen the other one.
Has anybody seen one?
It's out there? Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Has anyone seen one of the
One of the cards.
one with just the stone? Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes,
Awesome.
yeah, that's right.
Go see it.
Yep.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Also part of the magic bag of tricks is knowing how to work a PowerPoint
Good
clicker.
time.
There we go.
Should you retire the clicker? Like, just give it to Mike.
Your thumb getting tired.
I have the power, I am keeping it. These are also examples of where the iconic mojo of magic comes together with our partner brand. We kind of get to do this often with our mana symbols. They're probably the most recognizable icons of our brand. But these ones in particular are super charming. The artist who did these at the show, by the way.
Sarah Finnegan.
Yeah.
And the originals of these.
Yeah,
are
you can go
at
see them,
their booth,
actual
too.
paintings.
Yeah, they're so gorgeous. They glow in real life. I thought they were digital when I saw them
I did too.
online, and then to see the oil paintings just sing, it's like, oh my God, that's talent. But yeah, this is definitely another example of just like the perfect example of magic coexisting in the marvel of it all.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a good like collaboration point too. Like we're bringing ideas to you guys, and we're a little worried, and you loved them, and like that merging, that blending. It was so excited to have that happen.
So there are all kinds of ways in which we tried to do our own special thing so that our Marvel product felt like an authentic magic product as well. But there's some ways that we flipped that script and we made sure to bring as much Marvel mojo to the product as well. And Mike, I'd like you to talk about how you made that happen.
Yeah, one of the things, I've been at Wizards for a little over 3 years now, and one of the things that I was surprised by when I started was how many incredible Marvel painters throughout history had never worked for Magic. And just these great artists that Magic is as deep as they are into the art world didn't know about them. And then I found out about all these incredible Magic artists that even though I've been involved in comic art for years and years and years, I had never heard of these incredible Magic artists. And I'm like, how are these two worlds not overlapping more? So I really wanted to bring in some amazing Marvel artists into this. So here we've got an example of 4 pieces done by really incredible Marvel artists who had never worked for Magic before. So Bill Sienkiewicz and Paulo Rivera in Huckley and Dave DeVries. 3 of them are people I had worked with in the past and was able to bring them into Magic. And they were, just like the Magic artists, were super excited to be able to work on Marvel stuff. A lot of the Marvel artists were like, oh, cool, like I've always wanted to work for Magic. So we did it both ways.
Question, Mike, since you started working with these Marvel folks, have they expressed interest in continuing to work on Magic, not painting Marvel stuff?
Some of them have, yeah.
Awesome. We've
Because
hooked them.
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually happened or not because we were just totally focused on Marvel superheroes, where they've all continued on into Marvel superheroes, and we've added even more amazing Marvel artists.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Tom, can you talk about how we took that Marvel art and gave it a Marvel-y home?
Sure. So while like main set was using a lot of the magic styles. We wanted to differentiate a little bit with the booster font, so we leaned into the comic styles, and so we were hiring a lot of people that, Mike helped us find a lot of people to do the cards. And so you're seeing here like two versions of the same card, right? And we went into this comic panel. You can see like the three parts of the saga, or like the three panels of the comic. And this is, by the way, this Jim Chung, who is just an all-star. You could give him anything, and you just get this, any character, and it's like approved, approved, approved. You see him all over the set.
Do you think we'll see more Jim Chung art in
I don't know.
presentation?
I have no idea.
Maybe. But before we move on, I do just, it's been a conversation, but I love the...
Segway is gone.
That wasn't a segue, that was a joke.
Oh, thanks for clarifying.
But I love the comic panel saga cards because, like, there's so many different forms of storytelling in Magic, both like literal, non-literal, and so like the way that the saga cards work, being able to like break it into pieces and do the comic book panel storytelling, it just looks so natural. It just fits together. It's amazing.
And so the kind of blank spaces on there, maybe you've seen these, maybe you haven't. There's like narrative boxes there with the comic font
Yes.
doing all the rules text.
They're
Really
truly like
excellent.
comic book Magic cards. Like, amazing.
Hey, Mike, is it okay for me to go to the next slide?
You should check with Amanda.
Approved.
All right, let's do it.
So this is really neat to be able to see it all broken down. Comic books by nature have kind of a different workflow than some of the other like fine art works, where you might go like different levels of finish. Comic books, due to the timelines and the way that they're set up, there's usually specialists. There is a penciler, an inker, and a colorist, and a letterist most traditionally. Sometimes people double up depending on their style, but way back when, that's a very common way to break down Marvel comic books. And so this is an example of that. It's really cool to see it broken out. So I actually had a question. So some of the Marvel artists are used to this workflow. As they were hired to work on these Magic cards, did this workflow disrupt any of the steps that you had in place for your typical Magic artwork workflow?
It was a little different, but we kind of anticipated it. And thanks to Mike in a lot of ways as well. We knew that some people didn't do colors. And this is an instance where Jim Chung did the pencils and inks, and we had to hire somebody. So it was mostly a process and a timing setup, and like even what do we pay them per?
Right, yeah.
Because we're usually working with one artist that does the whole thing. So. But that was basically the gist of it.
There was one unexpected thing was you had to figure out how to fit sometimes 3 names at the bottom of a card.
That's
That was
true. Yeah, that was a new one.
Yeah, and that continued on and on as they typeset it. We had to continue changing the rules. And yeah, good point. One quick call out to J. David Ramos, who did the colors here. He's also credited a lot in the set. Just looking at that, how he changed some of those black lines into colors and like pushed back, created some depth. Really a pro.
Tom, do you think there might be a way to make the Marvel art
This is one of those
process?
surprise
Another-
questions you warned me about.
It could be a joke. We
Oh,
don't know.
I
I thought the other
There
one was
could
a
be a
segue. This could be a
transition.
This
joke.
one's
Who
just
knows?
a segue.
Phew, I'm 0 for 2.
Even more authentic Marvel art.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, these were so fun. So when we were a little worried about the lands, merging the mana symbols, I was super worried about bringing this idea to you guys. Like, will they let us change this stuff? And yeah, there were a few rules, but like, you guys were so excited about it. And so what we did was we took these iconic covers and changed the text to make it look like, to make it into a Magic card. We couldn't change like the word bubbles, right? So Spidey couldn't be saying, reach, vigilance, but besides that, we could tweak and change everything. They're super subtle, they're beautiful. I will collect them all. And then for these, they're MDFCs, so on the back we tried to get art either from that same issue or from that same era, so it kind of felt correct.
Yeah, these were, of course, so much fun, but I think that these were almost kind of like the mirror image of the Mox repaints with the Infinity Stone, where that was like Marvel laying over some magic mythology. This is magic laying over some Marvel mythology. And so I think that that was really cool that we kind of have mirror images of both sides of the collaboration represented.
Just as a long-time comic fan, like I loved that we covered the whole, it's not just like Spider-Man 2025, like we covered the whole history. So like all the great Spider-Man artists are represented in here, as well as like all our cool new paintings. Like, and also just this weekend I saw, hot take, as an art director, I don't love foils on paintings. Like it's just, I like to see the painting pretty pure, but the foils on these, I just saw for the first time this weekend, they look so cool. They're so good.
Yeah, good call out to that team.
Which, I mean, comics have had those big flashy foil covers forever, so it only makes sense.
This is the second one we did. There's 3 of them. We're only going to show you 2. But this Mark Bagley Venom #1, you just look at it. The back we used McFarlane art for Eddie. That was the most iconic thing we could find on the back there. So of the same era. I'm just gushing now. I'm saying like the same word over and over.
Look at it.
I love these.
You guys did a really good job, because if you don't know to look and see that they're magic cards, they do just look like you put the covers on there. So fantastic work, really seamless.
Fun.
Unseamless, this segue.
Speaking of Mark Bagley, we were excited to pull him in and do some Venom work with him. This is a card from the Secret Lair drop that we hired him for. One of the best Dark Rituals ever. You can see his inks there, and then again, J. David Ramos on the right doing the colors.
It's pretty cool to see how much this colorist added to it, especially in the background. There are things happening in the background that aren't indicated at all in the color.
And they had never worked on Mark Bagley's work, and Mark didn't have a preferred colorist, so like this was like a new thing for both of them.
Oh, wow.
And it's really cool how much color is incorporated on a character that's largely black and white with a blank background. There's just so much color and impact. It's amazing.
Before you go to the next slide, this one, so we got the colors done for the Mark Bagley drop, and they're gorgeous. And we're like, but we also love those black and whites. So we released 2 Secret Lair drops. You can get the black and white or the color, or both. They're on sale now.
You know what's
That's
awesome
the only
about,
shilling I'll
no,
do.
I like that. I like that story because it shows that sometimes the cool things that we do are not like an early plan. It's like we discover something.
Yeah.
The rule of cool. If something is awesome, like, oh my God, how can we find a way to amplify this or celebrate it? Love that.
We'll just round out the last 3 in that pack there. Was that Damnation? Oh, I can't read that. Can you guys?
Forced
You guys can
extraction.
read it. I
Yes,
don't need,
thank
you.
you.
Can all read. Thank you.
Pull up a chair.
Yeah, you get the clicker now.
Let's talk about scenes. Is this a me thing or is this a you thing?
I think we're good. We can share.
We can share?
We've been
Another
known to.
a hand-holding thing?
Yeah.
Scenes are, how many people here have seen these before, are familiar with scenes? Okay, good. This is an art panel. It's not, I shouldn't be surprised. For those of you who are not familiar, scenes are sets of cards where we create one large, often action-packed image that is then divided up into multiple cards. And it turns out that Marvel was a perfect partner, or Marvel IP is a perfect partner to the concept of scenes.
Yeah, and the tricks that we've learned, and you've developed a lot, you've done a lot of scenes, like to make sure that they feel continuous, like that they work as a single card, but also you can tell that there's maybe a little more of the story over here or over there.
I've been a Jim Chung fan for a long time, and I was so excited when I saw that you guys had signed him. And I remember, like, when the sketches started coming in for this, I was like, oh my God, like, not phoning it in.
Yeah, and it's no secret from Friday's announcement. We're doing more Marvel. He's doing more for us.
Yeah.
This is so amazing. I think that it must always be a challenge for scene cards to, I forget who said it, but the Brady Bunch effect, where there's like little squares or little cubes where everything feels very like, and then there's this card here, and there's this card here. Like, this feels so seamless. It's such
No
a
doubt.
huge, like, orchestration of characters and colors. There's not any one set place to look. Your eyes can just wander forever finding Easter eggs. There are so many Easter eggs tucked in here. It's wild.
The art descriptions for these were through the roof. We were talking about this scene the other day, and so I went in and counted. There's exactly 60 characters in this
60?
scene.
No way.
Yeah.
That's insane. As a cowboy aficionado, I like that Web Slinger and Widow are like smack in the middle of it.
Got Mysterio.
Oh
That's
yes,
the only one there.
Mysterio is another popular guy down in the very bottom left corner.
So some of the Easter eggs aren't even on this side of the art, are they, Tom?
Oh, seamless segue. So two of these cards are MDFCs, and we could have, it's Miles and Gwen, and we could have flipped them and showed them in that same setting. But we thought of something cute, something cool. So when you flip those two cards, it actually forms what you're seeing on the screen, a little two-card scene. Also, by Jim Chung and J. David Ramos. I just love this like kind of moment that's kind of hiding right below the surface, like their hands are almost touching. It's adorable.
I think one of the really fun things about the whole Spider-Man set is like you have moments of action, impact, grandeur, heroism, and then also cute little everyday moments like sitting outside the grocery store, like, showing them as like, teenagers. That's what's really charming and fun about the Spider-Man mythos, and so it's really great to show that in the artwork as well.
Amanda, I got to tell you, unscripted segue. I mean, for real.
Did you see how hers was like subtle and felt natural, and then you just undid
No,
that?
she deserves to know.
You turned hers. You turned hers
said to
into
stop
a
it.
that
There was no brakes squealing, no record
Deserves the
scratching.
credit.
Just like,
Yeah,
and yet you missed the cue to go to the next slide. I don't know.
Well done.
that was jealousy. He was jealous of your segue, so he
Hey.
undid it.
I'm good at clicking forward. She's good at teeing me up. Anyway, so the whole concept of some things being in your face action and other things being more intimate, that is, at least from our position outside looking in, one of the elements of Marvel's secret sauce. And we adapted that internally with a little bit of a creative guideline for art development of Superhuman, 2 words, to always remind us that we're giving people a superhero story, but we want to make sure that we're adding in the elements of humanity that make Marvel superheroes so relatable. I imagine that, I was not alive when comic books were started, but that the original just crime-fighting, bad guy punching stories were interesting to some, but when Marvel really started breathing human life into the stories and treating the characters as people and superheroes, that's when it really started to click. Anyway, we wanted to lean into that really hard, and I think if you pick up cards from the set, you will definitely see super. You're going to see super all over the place, and these are some of our favorite examples of super and in your face. But there's one piece of art that I feel like, and we all agreed, some of this is scripted. We have talked about this before. This is a wonderful emblem for this whole set and the whole idea of Superhuman. This image has elements from both sides of that spectrum.
I think it's a really charming depiction of like you said, superhuman. Like he's trying his superhero best, but he's also trying to go to school. It captures that like chaotic energy of Peter Parker, or I mean the chaotic energy of like trying to do it all as just like a person, like trying to be, you know, a student, trying to be a parent, trying to be like anything. The chaos of trying to handle it all. I think that's another thing that Spider-Man really speaks to us as readers and viewers and gamers. Just like as a character, it encapsulates us trying to be the best of ourselves and try to juggle it all, and just like, you know, trying to hold it all up and keep it going. So I think that this piece in particular captures a lot of that energy and storytelling with the shoes swinging and the mask half on, and
He's
running
barely
out the
closed his
door.
backpack. He doesn't have
It's
time for
open,
that.
yeah.
I mean, the number of little touches that, at least for me, make this resonate as both super and human. Like the fact that we can see a little glimpse of his face. Like it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's something. Like that's not just a superhero, that's a kid pulling on the superhero mask. And just tilting the camera a little bit. Like that's, like Amanda was saying, the manic morning of a kid trying to get to school on time. The backpack, the shoes, the books, the fact that it's not in front of some glassy buildings like we often see Spider-Man swinging around in the city. No, he's just trucking out of his house. He's trying to swing past the bus and beat the kids to school. Like everything about this is a wonderful balance of both of those things.
There was one more thing about this that I mentioned yesterday on another panel, but like the fact that this is like young Peter, and the fact that we can delineate between like young student Peter, college Peter. We get to follow him as he goes through his journey as a character. Peter, due to the, you know, life cycle of comic books, we've been telling Spider-Man stories for over 60 years. This character has been able to grow up. He has kids. Like there's so much story and life to him, and so to be able to explore that in Magic is also really exciting, because you have not just one Spider-Man card, you have a handful of them, and they portray him at different levels of power and experience, and I think that that's really cool to be able to delineate those with artwork.
Yeah. Peter's youth was also an influence for us in looking for a vibe for the Spider-Man set that presented superheroes and Spider-Man's environment as the place where a young person dwells, and also how can we deliver images that have a young person's appeal, a young person's vibe. And the rest of what we show you guys for the rest of this presentation is all going to be our favorite hits in terms of where are we seeing the human element, where are we feeling Peter's youth, his wit, his sense of humor, his adolescence.
Yeah, because there's a ton of art of people, you know, bad guys getting punched in the face, and it's, you know, it's an action adventure character, and we're a fighting game, you know, so it would have been easy just to do like fights. But we really wanted to get to the heart of why this character is so popular, like why it's been so popular for so long. And it's because there are these like incredibly human moments, like you see here with Miles and Gwen. Spider-Man is funny, like he's famously like making fun of his villains while he fights them, which is tricky to capture without word balloons and without action, but I think we did it with, you know, Spider-Man fighting his greatest arch enemy, Grizzly, which is a great piece. And then, you know, getting into, like you said, different parts of his life. Like we have very, very early Peter Parker in the lower left, and that piece is a real contender for my favorite card in the set. Like there's just something that feels so real about all of that. And there's also a little super ultra Easter egg in there. The shirt that Flash Thompson is revealing to his friends is actually the very first piece of Spider-Man merch ever created. Like that's a t-shirt you could order out of the comics in like 1964. So that is my own personal little nerd thing.
Yeah.
I love that piece in general. It's very Norman Rockwell. Every character in there is reacting to something, and so the piece just keeps giving.
This is an example of when an artist gets an assignment that might not at first seem like it's terribly juicy, like where's the bad guy, or why do I not get an action scene or whatever, but this artist went to town, not just like depicting this scene, but like Tom said, capturing like a Norman Rockwell, like A, level of quality, and B, sense of Americana. It's just 0% phoned in. This bunch is super cool because it has a little bit of youthful irreverence, like the way these artists were slinging their styles, especially the one on the left, where Victor Adame is not known for like abstract graffiti-inspired expressionism or whatever, but he felt like this was the place for it, and I think he was right.
I think it's really neat that due to the scope of the set that we were able to explore so many of Spider-Man's like supporting characters that have become main characters in their own right, like Spider-Gwen and Ghost Spider and Spider-Punk and some such, like, and especially the Spider-Verse films have really elevated those characters to be front of mind. I can imagine Spider-Verse has also really opened up the doors on what artwork could be for comics. I can only imagine the amount of influence that that sort of thing had on these specific cards with the vibrant colors, the sort of abstract takes. And I think that that's really great freedom to have with this set and these characters. It really lets them breathe.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about our partnership with Marvel is that because you've seen these characters drawn and painted in so many different ways, so many different styles, that you gave us the freedom to do that with, where sometimes, that's not always the norm when you're doing, like, what is licensed product. Like, a lot of times you're like, nope, this is the style that we're doing right now. You have to stick to it. You gave us so much freedom to, like, you were open to all different art takes, all different artists, and we really were able to let a lot of our artists, like Victor asked to paint Gwen. Like, when we approached him to do this, he's wanted to do Gwen Stacy. So he did the flip, the double-sided card for her. So, like, he went into it with this passion that ended up, showing up in the painting.
Yeah, I think that's really the lifeblood of comics, is artistic liberty and expression and exploration and pushing the limits. I was just repeating myself that, like, that's
for emphasis.
Like, you can spot, a McFarlane Spider-Man, like, what that is, and to be able to have that sort of mark on comic book history. I mean, it only makes sense that artists get to explore the Marvel brand in this way.
I was just going to say, Victor's here, so go say hi.
So many of these artists are here.
Yeah, RK Post, Ryan Pencoast, yeah.
Please go see them. One of the other elements of Peter's life and the whole Spider-Man story is that of the neighborhood. And we definitely wanted to capture a sort of on the streets, slice of life quality on some cards. And New York was a kind of a character in the art as well.
And this is kind of like a new direction for Magic, I would say, like, to be able to be so gritty and grounded in, like, New York. I mean, Rent, I don't know if that has ever been mentioned on a Magic card before.
Another example of what you were talking about just a minute ago.
Also, Return of Gal-Or.
Fantastic.
Yeah, being able to depict a very simple, mundane, modern-day life experience with such artistic, like,
Poor Gal-Or did work for me on Final Fantasy, where he got 2 assignments that I thought were really boring, and he just crushed it. The cards turned out so good. So to reward him for that, I give him all the boring stuff now.
Yeah.
Boring ideas, not so boring art.
Yeah.
Came out really well. Speaking of the neighborhood, tell us about your baby, Mike.
Yeah, so this card, Matt had mentioned before how many times we see Spider-Man just swinging in front of glass towers. And at one point, we work on these sets over a long period of time. And at one point, we had looked back at what we had done so far, and Matt was like, there's way too many people swinging above skyscrapers. Like, what else can we do? So we started giving some thought, like what can we do to shake that up? There's a Paulo Rivera card we did where we made it so that it was winter on the ground, since this doesn't all have to take place at the same time. And that changed things up, gave us a different palette, a different look at New York City. And then I was like, well, what else can we do besides winter? And I lived in New York for a long time, and so I realized like there's parts of New York that we're not showing in this set yet. New York is more than like Midtown Manhattan. So this card to me is this idea of Spider-Man at Halloween representing friendly neighborhood. This card, for anybody that's actually ever spent time in New York, is a very New York card. Like this is a very authentic feeling neighborhood. And just thrilled with how this card turned out. At the time we were contemplating it, it kind of felt like a stretch, like maybe this is too boring or whatever. And then as it was developing, we realized like, okay, something special is actually happening here. Plus, we were able to sneak the Avengers into the set. It's the only place we were able to get them.
So good. The overall vibe of this piece is so convincing. It's like, this one is like 1% super. Like, yes, we see Spider-Man lowering himself down, but it's like 99% warmth and friendly and neighborhood and the little connection between him and the kid dressed up as him. It's just so fantastic. This artist pulled off your brainchild with such panache. Most of the people on our team, like we see all the art coming through, and when this came through, like we all stopped and we're like, that's the one. Like it's a gem.
This is another example of like not like just bad guys, good guys, bad guys punching each other. A lot of like deep lore and deep cuts like you were talking about, but a lot of great work from two people that are here, Dylan Devney and Aaron Mesburn. So thanks for like going deep on this stuff and coming up with the descriptions that we gave the artists.
So you can go deeper into the neighborhood than just the neighborhood itself. What do they eat in New York?
Well,
we want to have them vote for which one's more exciting?
the
Which
best.
quadrant?
Which
Yeah,
one?
there's a lot of cheers.
City Pigeon. Got it. I think I've heard there was a lot of debate online whether or not this was an authentic level of schmear on a bagel. But one of the things that I love about these are, like I kind of mentioned before, was about like the grounding, the realism, really feeling like New York, really feeling like combining the superheroism and mythos with our real world experience. But another thing I found charming about these cards is we always try to tuck Marvel Easter eggs in there as much as we can. And it took me way too long to realize that Vulture is actually in the background of City Pigeon in the top, like, center, like. So was that Vulture's hot dog? Who's to say? But I just think that that's fun. Spider-Man standing in line for the hot dogs. Oh man, that one is so charming.
In the bagel piece, the Coffee A Go-Go cup, Coffee A Go-Go is an in Marvel Universe coffee shop too.
Wasn't that Spider-Man in line like one of the very first pieces of concept art?
The Spider-Man in line at the hot dog stand was concept art before we even started the set, just to show artists like, here, this is how we want to capture New York, street level New York City. And it was just such a charming piece. And then once we realized we had a hot dog card and a pigeon eating a hot dog card, we're like, well, where did the hot dog come
That
from?
rarely
We can bring it over.
Like graduation rarely happens.
Yes.
Concept,
I think we created the hot dog image as a representation of the whole idea of Superhuman. And we had no idea that our artist would end up delivering other pieces that far surpassed our own idea. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
But
Which came
like
first,
it
the
hit
hot
our
dog card or the hot dog art?
The hot dog cart
Cart.
was first, but
cart was for the dog.
Good to know.
On-
This is the
on my theme.
Congrats.
On my theme of punishing artists for good work, David Szabo, who did City Pigeon and also did the hot dog food token, he, a while ago, did an artifact card for me that, again, I thought was very boring. and he just crushed it. It was like just a torch, and it looked so good. And so now he gets punished by having to paint hot dogs and pigeons. But then it was, I don't know if you've seen the hot dog token, but it's phenomenal. It's an incredibly good token. It should be hung up on some millionaire's wall with duct tape.
That's all we got for you guys. Well done, guys. Well done.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Smoke bomb.
You got segues down, but you didn't practice ending.
I did not.